Morning, everybody. It's Thursday morning and Thursday of Holy Week, and we're heading towards the Easter weekend. I hope you're well, keeping safe and staying at home as much as possible. We have had folks watching these videos and our services from different places around the world, from as far apart as New Zealand and Vancouver. So thank you to the folks who are watching from different places, and the folks from Ballygraney as well. Just to say, we're thinking of you, we're praying for you. We've been phoning around a number of you, and please do keep in touch and let us know if there's anything we can do for you. Tomorrow, Good Friday, we're going to have a live reflection from here, from the manse. We've been working on that, and there will be some singing involved in that, so I'm forewarning you now. But we're going to try and just reflect a little bit on the events of Good Friday and what happened there. So please do join us 7:30 tomorrow evening on Facebook Live, and then for those who don't have Facebook, we'll upload it onto YouTube a little bit later. We're coming away from the Psalms now. We finished the Psalms of Ascent yesterday, and so just for this next couple of days, we want to focus on the events leading up to Jesus' death. And I just want to pick out a couple of things today and tomorrow morning as we do that. And what I want to read just now is from the Thursday going into the Friday morning of Jesus' last earthly week of ministry. And so this is Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane from Luke chapter 22. And he came out and went, as was his custom, to the Mount of Olives, and the disciples followed him. And when he came to the place, he said to them, "Pray that you may not enter into temptation." And he withdrew from them about a stone's throw, and knelt down and prayed, saying, "Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done." And there appeared to him an angel from heaven, strengthening him. And being in an agony, he prayed more earnestly. And his sweat became like great drops of blood falling to the ground. And when he rose from prayer, he came to the disciples and found them sleeping for sorrow. And he said to them, "Why are you sleeping? Rise and pray that you may not enter into temptation." A lot of the time when we hear stories of Christian martyrs facing death, what strikes us is their amazing sense of calm in the face of what's coming. One of those examples is, as many of you know, a sort of personal hero of mine, Dietrich Bonhoeffer from Germany, who simply walked out of his cell in Flossenburg concentration camp on the morning of his execution and said, "This is the end for me, the beginning of life," and faced his firing squad. Amazing calm under incredible pressure. Jesus demonstrates the opposite here in the garden. He's not calm, and surely you would expect this man of all men, as he faces his unjust death, to be facing it with that calm assurance. But there is agony and anguish here in the garden. There is distress, which leads even to physical symptoms, according to Luke. Sweat like drops of blood falling from his head. And even an angel coming to strengthen him can't take away the anguish and the agony that he's going through. Why? Why so much agony? Why so much anguish from Jesus? Well, the answer is in what he says to his Father when he asks him to remove this cup from him. It's the cup that creates the sense of anguish and agony. Because the cup that he is preparing to drink is the cup of God's wrath, God's holy, perfect hatred of sin, of my sin, of your sin, of the sin of the whole world. And Jesus is preparing to face the righteous judgment for that sin. J.C. Ryle, a 19th century bishop of Liverpool, explains it in this way in a little commentary on Luke. How can we account for the deep agony which our Lord underwent in the garden? What reason can we assign for the intense suffering, both mental and bodily, which he manifestly endured? There is only one satisfactory answer. It was caused by the burden of a world's imputed sin, which then began to press upon him in a peculiar manner. He had undertaken to be sin for us, to be made a curse for us, and to allow our iniquities to be laid on himself. It was the enormous weight of these iniquities which made him suffer agony. It was the sense of a world's guilt pressing him down, which made even the eternal Son of God sweat great drops of blood, and called from him strong crying and tears. The cause of Christ's agony was man's sin. The cause of Christ's agony was our sin, yours and mine. The cross that he was facing the next day would cost him everything. He would empty himself on that cross. Tomorrow we'll reflect on the cross and we'll see just how much it cost him. But for now, enough for us to know that knowing the cost, knowing the anguish, knowing the agony, knowing everything that lay before him, he accepted that cup so that you and I would never have to drink from it. That's the Saviour that we celebrate this Easter. God bless. Take care.